I didn't get a warm and fuzzy feeling watching Jackson Dart, Brett, just because I think he put his body in the line. Like, the guy is a little reckless out there, but I mean, it was flashy. What'd you see? And again,
yeah, some of this was on Dable for sure. For one, they had like a Tim Tebow game plan dialed up for him. I mean, I'm not kidding. Like, it reminded me of Tim Tebow with the Denver Broncos, where we're gonna all this short QB, draw inside zone inverted stuff with Jackson Dart, just so gross. And then it was pretty clear he was being coached to take off if the first read wasn't there. Yeah. Just go get it with your legs.
What?
Why are you shaking your head?
You're welcome. What's going on? Welcome to the Week 5 Matchup Points live stream and podcast here at fantasypoints.com. I'm John Hansen. Graham Barfield and Brett Whitefield are ready to rock and roll. 2 fewer games, bye weeks. Gotta love the buys. That saves us, probably 2 hours a week minimum. Not for this live stream, but just in general. So we do like that. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. San Francisco at the LA Rams. And Graham, I'll actually go to you because this spread's pretty high. This number is like 47.5. I understand we have some potency here, but I mean, we don't even know about the Niners as we record this on Wednesday night. But any thoughts on that total of 47.5? It's pretty high.
It struck me as high too. Obviously, it's the Rams getting a lot of deserved respect, but yeah, no Purdy most likely, no Pearsall, no Jennings on this short week. Look at Mack in there who can run the offense for sure. I think it's some respect to Mack for sure, but yeah, I mean, he's just not going to have any of his guys. I mean, they're going to be down to DeMarcus Robinson, down to the skids basically for the 49ers this week. So Rams huge favorites. I mean, I feel like this is one of those spots where the Rams kind of get up a score or two and just play slow, pretty balanced. This kind of looks like a gross game. So I'm with you. I think this total is a little high.
Brett, Stafford didn't light it up in this matchup last year, which kind of weird, I guess, divisional opponent, all that. But, is there anything that scares you whatsoever? I mean, maybe Puka doesn't go crazy here. I like Devontae. Any thoughts on LA and their passing attack? I feel like Stafford's playing really well, though.
Yeah, Stafford, he's been a top 3 QB this season so far. Listen, the 49ers just lost Nick Bosa for some time. And their pressure rate was already bottom barrel-ish. Right, so, there's really nothing to fear here for the, Stafford-led Rams. I just don't know. Like Graham said, the game script here could get kind of wonky. It does feel like a cruise control type game. The only thing that really struck me that's interesting is there's a Kyren Williams prop, 1.5 receptions I thought about jumping on. Just seems like one of those games where he might catch a few balls, but I don't know.
I'm already in on it. Right after you, well, close, but right after you were on the show today, I did my best bet, which they're like 8-0 because I have to do them on like Tuesday or Wednesday, or at least 7-1, and I went Kyren over 8.5 yards. I mean, it seems random, it seems weird.
Oh, I like it.
But yeah, he's got to catch it, at least one catch in error in 10 games in a row, and Higbee may not play, which could help. But yeah, I don't. You're starting Puka. I still like Devontae, not on the injury report. Kyren should do very well. Niners, you're going McCaffrey. I don't know what else you do here. Kendrick Bourne. You mentioned DeMarcus Robinson. He just played last week for the first time. I will say if Jennings is out, Graham, or if Jennings is in, he's the guy.
Yeah, he'll be the guy. It seems like it's going to be a multi-week thing with Pearsall on this knee, and again, short week. Jennings definitely seems like the guy who's closest, though, but he has 3 injuries. He got absolutely destroyed, got his ribs just caved in on that 2-point conversion. But yeah, pretty gross. DeMarcus Robinson, Jake Tonjes, probably even see a little Sky Moore. It's pretty gross for the Niners this week. But yeah, Kendrick Bourne did lead them in routes last week.
I have a very funny DeMarcus Robinson story real quick. Ross Tucker, our old friend. Well, 10 years ago, I mean, I don't know, whenever DeMarcus Robinson came out, I met him for a couple beers in Mount Laurel because he was doing a broadcast boot camp at NFL Films. And he was on his phone drafting in a keeper league. And he was between, it was Malcolm Mitchell or Demarcus Robinson.
Oh,
So
man.
I'm like, I was like, no, I like Demarcus Robinson. Get Demarcus Robinson. I'm like, Demarcus Robinson. And the guy doesn't do anything. So Ross is like, 1 year is like, hey, Guru, Demarcus not doing anything. And then like now it's like a running joke. It's like, he's still around, baby. You can't get rid of him.
Yeah.
It's
Malcolm
like 10
literally
years.
had the 1 year. He had the one
Yeah.
rookie season. That's it.
Well, I think I was wrong, but I got lucky with Mitchell because he got hurt because Mitchell was pretty good. But anyway, let's move on to the next game. I always love that DeMarcus Robinson story because if he does score tomorrow night, I will text Ross. There he is, buddy. Minnesota at Cleveland or across the pond against Cleveland. You got Dylan Gabriel against Carson Wentz. Well, Brett, how about the Viking run D? And how about our guy Judkins? I mean, it's almost too obvious. I'm sure they'll probably load up to stop Judkins, but I don't know if you can stop Judkins. And how bad is that run D?
Yeah, this was my big concern in the offseason where they brought in the new D tackles. Both of them were pass rush specialists. So it's like, ugh.
Well, they traded away Harrison Phillips.
Yeah, traded away Harrison Phillips, then brought in Hargrave and the other guy who's just pass rushers. So, yeah, this is tough. I think Chris Wecht is projecting Judkins over 90 yards, which is funny.
Whoa.
It's third start or something. So, yeah, I love it, though. I mean, that's the obvious one here. I want to know how much, though, the Cleveland Browns coaching staff hates Dylan Gabriel. Like, you're going to make him go against Brian Flores in his first start. That's like criminal. That is, like, there's some conspiracies out there that they just want to get to Shador quicker. So they're like, all right, you go play Flores, and then
well, Brett, you interviewed Dylan Gabriel. I was standing right next to you. Dude's dropping F-bombs. I was like, damn, this guy's got – I mean, he's definitely got some moxie. Not a very big body, but he's got some moxie. I mean, how much do you think the offense will change? Because people are wondering, is it going to unlock Judy? And I'm like, I think the identity of the offense is Judkins and their defense.
Yeah, it's going to sound crazy because he's a rookie, but I think he might be a little bit of a stabilizing force. They traded for Cam Robinson. Conklin's going to be back or I should say healthier. I think you settle up at tackle and then get a guy with a little bit more mobility than Flacco, and maybe you can get some stuff going in the pass game. Maybe. It's a big maybe. But with Judkins taking some of the pressure off, it does feel like it's probably a good time for a QB change here. So, I like him. He definitely plays with confidence. You can't say that about Gabriel. You know, he's a confident guy, and he's going to run the offense. That's what he does. He'll run the offense. So.
Right. Yeah, better second reaction ability. Not as good of an arm, but he's probably a small upgrade over Flacco. Is that fair?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Graham, anything popping for you? I mean, this Carson Wentz stuff, this will be ugly, but I think he'll probably get a couple of tutties. But protection could be an issue here with no Brian O'Neill, and that's been the problem in Minnesota all year. Like it's a struggle bus. Plus, they're not going to be able to run the ball. So actually, I've talked my way out of it. This might be a little bit of a struggle here. What do you see with the Vikings?
Yeah, they're down 2 linemen. Brian O'Neill, Donovan Jackson, their guard's going to miss. I think Ryan Kelly's in concussion protocol.
Yeah,
too.
He is.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. I mean, like Brett was saying, Vikings have the best pass rush in the NFL right now. I mean, they just do so much fun stuff at the line of scrimmage to confuse the quarterback. The Browns just get there with Mason Graham and Myles Garrett, and these guys are generating pressure in 45% of opponents' dropbacks. It's 7th highest. Yeah, this is a really, really rough spot for a Vikings offensive line that is extremely beat up. I'm not feeling it with really any of these Vikings. And seeing Xavier Scott take a lot of the hurry up, long down the distance, passing down snaps really hurts Jordan Mason too. I was kind of hoping Mason would be just a full blown bell cow, but does not seem like that's going to happen. He's going to kind of be a game script sensitive kind of guy.
Brett, if they can't protect, or I'm sure they'll get him on the run, and running away from Myles Garrett. What about the matchup? Because Denzel Ward and Greg Newsome, these guys give up production.
Yeah. Ward isn't quite as good as he used to be. Newsome's been a big disappointment the last 2 years, and there are other spots wide open, and you can attack these guys for sure. Yeah. We've seen it time and time again. When you can block against them, you can take advantage. So
I feel like it'll be ugly, but Wentz will probably do it again. Might run a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean, it's ugly, but where does Carson Wentz rank in your league leaders? I bet she's like QB 14. I mean, it all counts, right, Graham?
Yeah, I mean, it was all garbage time last week, though, and he had the one big play to Addison that kind of saved his day, made his day look a little better. But yeah, I mean, it's such a quarterback friendly offense, like we always talk about.
Did I say QB 14? He actually is QB 14.
Yeah.
Last 2 weeks. But yeah, this could be a little bit of a struggle bus, and we don't have a good total on that one, right? That's like, isn't it like 38 or something? Or no,
sure.
it's the lowest one of the week.
It's got to be, yeah.
Yeah, it's 36 and a half. Yeah,
oh,
that's brutal.
Oh, that's brutal. That's brutality right there. What a waste. All the they have a lot of skill guys on these two teams. No one's going to be using them. Houston at Baltimore. Brad, I'll go to you because you like actually our guy Stephen O'Rourke likes Nico Collins, but maybe you do as well. I get it. Baltimore's defense kind of stinks right now, but so does Stroud. So what wins out there?
Yeah, so this is 2 years running now where Baltimore just gets gashed at the intermediate and deep part of the field. That's where Nico Collins lives, right? So I see the attraction that one Stephen O'Rourke sees. I just don't want to trust CJ Stroud and the offensive line, but you're obviously not benching Nico if you have him, right? Like you have to play him. He was your first or second round pick. So
yeah.
But yeah, it's a good matchup for him if they can protect a little bit. It seems like they have a declared winner now at left tackle, right, with the trading of Cam Robinson. So maybe that settles them down a little bit. I don't know.
Does Woody Marks help the offense a little bit? Less predictable?
Yeah, I mean he's a very good pass down player. So that definitely makes him a little bit less predictable. I don't know how much it matters, but we'll see.
Right. Yeah. Graham, any interest in – I mean, I think I was the only person in America who gave a rat's ass about Dalton Schultz this summer just because I'm an FFPC guy. And I thought that's a great 20 round pick, because nobody wanted Schultz this year. He hasn't really done much, but he came on last week. Any thoughts on Houston or the other side?
I think they're going to be able to run the ball a little bit. This Ravens run defense has not been good. Brett was saying they've sucked in the secondary. They've also not been good against the run, giving up 5.1 yards per carry the last 3 weeks. So, Woody Marks definitely in play. I liked him for DFS last week. He was super cheap, and I'm liking him here as like a pretty decent RB2 flex. Snaps have come up 4 straight. It's scary hours, by the way, for Derrick Henry. He has always been one of the most game script sensitive running backs in football. And now they are 1.5 point home dogs without Lamar. So we're going to probably see Justice Hill quite a bit, with Cooper Rush back there. Ravens, I know Texans offense, like we have no confidence in this offense and especially this passing offense, but Ravens with Cooper Rush are going to be, this is a trouble spot against this team. Texans are very underrated defense right now.
Threw a lot to Zay Flowers, did Cooper Rush. So
and Andrews.
And Andrews.
Yeah. A lot of short stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
So Andrews, we're not dead with Andrews. We're not dead. I thought we were dead, but we're not dead.
It's weird as his snap share and route share did come down, but he caught freaking 8 passes or whatever. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, what do you tell people about Derrick Henry? I'm actually open to buy low. I know there's risk involved, but I looked at the schedule and I'm like, there's a lot of volume here. Weather getting a little colder. Lamar will be back. I don't buy that the Ravens are done. We all kind of were worried about it, but these things tend to level off in the NFL. He did have 27 carries in the one game against Houston. They can't sustain offense, really. Maybe they do with Woody Marks, but at the very least, they'll be punting a lot. So maybe Derrick Henry, he probably should get 20 carries. But any thoughts on Henry this week or long term?
Their schedule opens up. I mean, they had a murderous start, and then it's gonna. Pretty sure they get all like the worst teams in the league coming up. Yeah, Chicago, Miami, the Jets.
Right.
Pittsburgh's not been good against the run. Cincinnati twice. I mean, it's really easy schedule after their bye week here.
All right, good, because I thought I was on my own with that one.
No, I like that call too, John. And like Brett was saying, I mean, it'll probably be Lamar missing Texans and Rams game. They could be 1-5 after the bye, but they could go for a run for sure.
Yeah. Let's see. What did we miss? No, I think we got it all. Let's go to Miami at Carolina. Believe it or not, I kind of like Bryce Young here, Brett. He is, Miami secondary is not very good. It's in Carolina. It seemed like they play some man. Tet this week. I don't know if we get Jalen Coker, but hey, you can't stop Tommy Tremble. I mean, you could try. You could try. But any thoughts? I know it's a tough deal here.
No, I think
go ahead.
I think you're on it. I mean, I almost came to your show today with a Bryce Young Tet. I ended up backing off just because looking at Bryce Young's last few games, just like
Yeah.
I don't want to put myself in a position where I got to trust this guy to make me money, So any other quarterback, I may have pulled the trigger there just because Miami's secondary is so bad. They give up a ton to tight ends too. So I like the Tremble call, Jatavian Sanders. But yeah, I mean, I think Young's line was like it's like 205 or something, wasn't it? It was really soft for when you're going against one of the worst defenses in the NFL.
Our guy Scott Barrett came on the VSiN show Friday talking Tommy T. And I was like, I'm almost embarrassed to admit that you like Tommy Tremble. But then again, I looked at the numbers and I'm like, you know what? I like Tommy Tremble as well. And he did get it done. Graham, Chuba Hubbard is just like, what were we doing here with Chuba Hubbard? Like, I mean, how good or bad are you feeling with Chuba Hubbard right now if you have him?
Yeah, not great. It's mainly just like Brett was saying, Bryce Young's just not taken off yet. I mean, to give this some context, I mean, Miami's getting 1.5 points in Carolina. They're the slight favorite. Hubbard's always been like a game script sensitive guy, and they've just gotten absolutely blown out in 3 of their 4 games. I guess the Cardinals game was a little closer. He got there with a touchdown late, but yeah, snaps fell down to 51% last week. Definitely a concern, again, huge trailing game script. But this is a much better spot. This game should be pretty competitive. I'm picking Miami to win, but softer run defense. Patriots have a top tier run defense. Vrabel is just coaching a great run defense again. But Miami is certainly a much softer matchup.
Go ahead.
So the other thing with Chuba is their 2 best interior offensive linemen are on IR, and then a third one just went on IR yesterday. Yeah. So, that's a big deal, man.
I mean, Robert Hunt is really good. He kind of unlocked that run game last year.
Really, really good. Now, Chandler Zavala went on IR yesterday. The center's on IR. It's not good for Bryce either. Trust me.
Well, the other thing is Dowdle is kind of encroaching, right? I mean, I don't think the number 2 running back was playing as much as Dowdle was playing down the stretch last year.
No, I mean, Hubbard was getting like 90% of the snaps, and that was always the thing. Like, he was always going to lose snaps, but then you had to have this offense be good, and it's not. But yeah, this is a good matchup. I mean, Miami's given up the 7th most rushing yards per game.
Then let's talk Raiders Colts, and Brett, I'll go to you. We talked about this. I know Danny Dimes was suspect last week, and I guess depending on your scoring system, he may have come up a little small for you, but it's not his fault that A.D. Mitchell let go of a touchdown pass. So there's 4 points gone. I thought he played pretty well, and I love this matchup. So I don't know. I think Danny Dimes and the Colts go out and do whatever the hell they want to do this week.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I thought Danny Dimes actually played pretty well, minus that really bad interception. But the anticipation's still there. I mean, he's running the offense. Ball's accurate. It's coming out on time. You got to love it. We haven't seen this from a Colts QB in a while, right? So I love Michael Pittman Jr. this week, especially his prop 52.5. He is the number 1 right now with Alec Pierce banged up. Josh Downs perpetually banged up. The Raiders are giving up 11 yards a target to outside wide receivers this year. Wow. That is like staggeringly bad. Yeah. Very few times in recent memory have I seen a number that high. So it's pretty ridiculous. I think they cruise though. And I like Trey Tucker on the other side too, for kind of the same reason. Xavier Howard, has been getting crushed. And in fact, I was talking about today, saying they're going to have to evaluate him and make sure he's fit to play, basically, which isn't a good sign. But that's who's going to draw. Trey Tucker's going to draw. So I mean, two good matchups on both sides here. I think they could provide some points for us.
Graham, I do think Alec Pierce may return. He's integral. He's got a larger role than I thought. I thought he would be the guy that gets pinched the most by Tyler Warren, but I don't know. Maybe Alec Pierce is just too damn good to keep off the field. He's definitely looked good. But do you have any thoughts here? Johnny Taylor, gotta love the catches. Had a 51-yard tutty call back last week, as you probably know. But anything in this game?
Yeah, thanks to A.D. Mitchell on that one too. He played such a bad game. Pierce's role is just completely safe. These two guys have kind of, when one's out, they kind of sub the other end, and Pierce is just super safe. My note in this game is, Raiders outside corners are terrible, but this team is just rolling out cover 3 at an insanely high and unpredictable rate. It's like 55% of opposing quarterbacks dropbacks. Tyler Warren has led this team in targets, target share, first reads. He has 8 catches, 134 yards on his 10 targets against cover 3.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a good spot for Pittman, but I think Warren is like arguably the best tight end play on the slate.
Brett, back over to the Raiders. Any advice for Brock Bowers people? I say they have a bye in 2 weeks, so I'm ready to buy low on Bowers.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah, if you want to do that, he's talented enough. I'm concerned with the health, obviously, and then the role. Just when he's on the field, just isn't great.
Yeah.
Wasn't great really last year. I mean, the targets were great, but the routes he was running it didn't seem duplicatable to me.
Not just that. Like Geno's a huge concern. Geno has not been the same guy. He's got a 71% catchable throw rate right now, leads the league in turnover worthy throw rate.
Yep.
We were kind of banking on Geno, like, yeah, he throws picks and he makes bad decisions at times, but at least he gives his receivers like catchable balls consistently. But this is pretty bad.
Is it too much? Is it not enough near the line of scrimmage compared to last year? Because I remember week 1, Bowers made that great play down the field.
Well, no, his role is mostly around the line of scrimmage. The problem is when he's banged up, he can't.
Yeah, he's not running
after catch. Yeah,
right,
he can't run.
Right. Well, I do think that's an injury that can improve. You can play it with it, and it can get better. And then you have a bye. I'm just looking for a buying opportunity because he is Brock freaking Bowers, and he is kind of crushing people. How about Genty? I mean, we knew that was coming, Brett. I mean, we were all over that one, and we won that prop. Thank you, Ashton. But you're not going to play the Bears every week. Indy, what do you think of Indy's defense, real quick? I mean, Grover Stewart has been a little bit banged up here, but where are you with Indy's D?
Yeah, you can run on him. I mean, I think 248 adjusted yards before contact per carry. You just got to stay in the game. That's the key. The Colts have jumped out to some leads, and teams have gone away from the run on them. But if the Raiders can stay in the game, you can definitely run on them. The yards before contact, as we said last week, is exactly what Genty needs to get going, because he's going to make the first guy miss in the open field every time.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I think Jacoby Myers will probably get some love too. I mean, I guess he's better against man, but I mean, should be throwing a lot in this one. And Geno will probably throw 2 picks. I'm even though it's the Colts. If there's a Geno prop for 0.5 picks, I'm taking the over on that puppy. Maybe that's probably up to 1. If that's the line for Geno, that's bad. Giants at Saints. I didn't get a warm and fuzzy feeling watching Jackson Dart, Brett, just because I think he put his body in the line. Like, the guy is a little reckless out there, but I mean, it was flashy. What'd you see? And again, it's really hard to comment on it for me because no Malik Neighbors is so massive to this whole Jackson Dart project.
Yeah, some of this was on Dable for sure. For one, they had like a Tim Tebow game plan dialed up for him. I mean, I'm not kidding. Like, it reminded me of Tim Tebow with the Denver Broncos, where we're gonna all this short QB, draw inside zone inverted stuff with Jackson Dart. Just so gross. And then it was pretty clear he was being coached to take off if the first read wasn't there. Yeah. Just go get it with your legs. I thought Dart was sloppy. The footwork was pretty messy, which is why he missed some of those throws. But still, the catchable ball rate was up near 80%, which huge improvement from Russ's 58. So we got to like that, right? And then when Neighbors goes out in the second quarter, whatever install you did all week basically just got thrown out the window. Not an ideal situation for a guy in his first start as a pro. But yeah, I didn't get the warm fuzzies either. I will say I think he'll be better this week. More time to prepare. Probably a different game plan too.
Lesser pass rush.
Yeah, lesser pass rush. Chargers are a very good defense, so that was not an easy task. Yeah, I don't know. The Dart stuff is interesting because I did not like. I've been a big proponent of the legs, and this is a guy who can run the football. Yeah. I did not expect a freaking, a Tim Tebow game plan out of him though. So
I totally expected him to run, but not that. I mean, I didn't take the prop, but I totally was on that one. Graham, if you're looking at a giant receiver, it's obviously Wandale or Slayton. Dart, it's only one game, but he didn't really throw it to one. I'm actually leaning Slayton here, thinking maybe he can be unlocked a little bit with Dart down the field.
Yeah, I'm thinking Slayton too, especially in this matchup. Saints outside corners have not been good. I think they're giving up the 9th most passing yards per game to outside corners. outside receivers. Slayton in 2 games last year that Neighbors missed earned a 30% target share with basically the same group of guys. Wandale was there, Theo was there.
Right.
Got double-digit targets both those games. So I'm with you, but this is such a different offense. They were a lot more pass heavy. Like Brett was saying, this is going to be a pretty scaled down, run heavy offense, kind of grind these games out until, Dart starts progressing.
Oh, Scadaboo's getting like 29 carries here.
Yeah,
I mean, he is unbelievable.
Yeah, he's got a humongous role. And, he only got 2 targets last week, but he played a ton in the passing game. Obviously, he's great in pass protection. So, yeah, he's got a massive role.
He is awesome. I mean, I liked him. I had him on my list. I didn't think he'd be this good. No way. I don't think anyone could have really envisioned it. I mean, yeah, you saw his college tape and he was killing everybody, but, big step up here. Graham, back to you on the Saints backfield. I thought Kendre Miller looked pretty damn good here. So what'd you think?
Yeah, I thought Kendre looked better in the preseason too. He's kind of started this trend up, but it's still, he got the touchdown last week, but Kamara still has a huge role, 72% of the snaps. XFP was, up near 17, 18. It's just, this offense is not gonna produce a lot of like high efficiency weeks. This might be a good matchup though for this Saints run game. I think they come out and try to run it a little more than they typically do. Giants giving up 5.8 yards per carry. It's really bad.
Right. And then Brett, you like Olave in this game. What's up with the Giants D? Because they had like the most talented front in the league and they kind of stink at everything.
Yeah, they stink. So first and second downs have been awful for them. They cannot stop the run, giving up 5.85 yards per carry, which is nuts. And it's mostly on first down. So, for this unit that should be awesome rushing the passer, they're not earning the opportunity to rush the passer. They're getting in 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2 a lot. And so it's just not, play action still in play, the run game still in play. So yeah, they're getting mitigated a little bit with that. I like Kamara in this week because of that. I like Olave a lot. They're giving up, the Giants are giving up like 140 yards to outside receivers, giving up a bunch of the slot as well. And then Olave's role is ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, it really is crazy. Using our new wide receiver tool comparator thing that's not on the site yet, but you guys can probably access it. It's impressive his role. It's like 34% first read share, but the route distribution's excellent. 42% in the short, 36% intermediate, and then 16% deep, which is a pretty big flip from where he was basically a deep threat only 2 years ago. Yeah. So he is the number one, and he plays like an alpha. So it's a great spot. Cordell Flott kind of stinks too. He's going to see him the most, and he should get some production out of that.
Watch this be the week the Giant pass rush ratchets it and turns up the heat though on the Rat Man, Spencer Rattler. Olave ranks behind Puka Nacua in expected fantasy points. I mean, that's quite some company. Graham, I think it was a good run with Juwan Johnson, but I think it's time to sell.
You think so? Taysom Hill's back?
Yeah, and the Isle of Moreau.
Oh, right. Yeah, they're getting both of them back, I saw. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, he does give them an element that they do not have with Shaheed and Olave, is that like kind of big slot receiver. That's not Taysom. Right. Foster Moreau is more of an inline guy. But yeah, more target competition's not great. That's for sure.
Yeah. No, again, I always thought Juwan Johnson should have gotten more love last year, the year before that, maybe the year before that. Let's move on to the Cowboys and the Jets. Boy, Graham, to you, will the Cowboys, based on what you've seen, be able to sustain what they're doing? Like run the ball? And I mean, it's a good offense. Like, I guess that's it. That's what they are, I think.
Yeah, I was just dead wrong about Dak last week. I mean, he shredded Green Bay, was getting the ball out really quickly to mitigate, Parsons in that pass rush. Brett, I wanted to ask you, like, what the Jets defense is just completely broken. I mean, they're a bad secondary. They're bad against the run. I mean, it seems like Aaron Glenn is like teetering on losing the team. And I mean, this is just, even without Lamb, like I kind of want to play all the Dak this week just because the Jets have been so bad.
Yeah, the one thing the Jets do well is they take away outside receivers pretty good. I think they're top 10 in yards against, receivers out wide, but they don't have the dogs. They don't have the dudes. It's year one of a complete tear down and rebuild. And so They have no pass rush. Quinnen Williams is not the same player he was. He's good against the run still, but he's not the pass rusher he was. The edge guys are getting whooped. It's not great. Jamean Sherwood's probably the best player not named Sauce Gardner on that defense, and it's just they have two guys basically. So it's going to be a slow grind for the Jets, unfortunately, with Aaron Glenn and getting that where it needs to be.
I'm not even sure Sauce is really great this year. I mean, he's been on guys, but he's also getting a lot of penalties and he's kind of making mistakes. Georgie Pickens on Sauce. Who wins that battle?
I mean, I probably like Sauce, but the thing is, Pickens is so good at the catch point that might not matter. You know, right. He's going to win enough of those to where it shouldn't matter.
The volume is so good. I mean, they just have no one else to go to. Him and Jake Ferguson. I mean, Ferguson is like, I was talking with Ryan and Scott and Theo on our Fantasy Points Daily podcast on Tuesday, and we were doing rest of season kind of roundtable. And I mean, Ferguson's like a top 5 tight end for the rest of the year. It's like easy money. Jets, you know, they've been okay against tight ends this year, but it doesn't, I don't really think it matters just because this volume is so good.
And by the way, the Jets couldn't stop Darren frickin' Waller.
Yeah, it was that was a limited thing, but yeah, he did have a nice red zone package, that's for sure.
Yeah, and then Javonte, hey, he's bringing it. I mean, he'll continue to bring it. Little Miles Sanders involved in the passing attack driving me nuts. I certainly feel good about Garrett Wilson in this matchup. He'll see what's his face, Diggs, who's struggling. But man, it's Justin Fields it's like the Jets defense. Like for a second there, week 1, we're like, oh, but no, it's bad. I mean, what do you see with Fields and the Jets offense?
Yeah, processing's always been an issue with Fields, to where it's just he doesn't see it. He's a see it and throw it guy. So guys aren't getting open. He's not hitting it. And then just the random spells of inaccuracy. You know, it's weird. Like week 1, he was so lights out throwing the ball, and then all of a sudden it's like he can't hit the broadside of a barn. There's a reason when he played in Chicago, they were dropping him back 12 times a game. You know, it's just not super sustainable. So I don't know. I'm probably out on Justin Fields forever. He'd have to probably win MVP for me to ever buy back in at this point.
Yeah, totally.
And every time I come back around on him, he disappoints me. So I'm just like, screw it, I'm done.
That's who he is. That's the volatile guy. Graham, I thought it was annoying when I believe the first carry of the game was Breece Hall. Yep. He rips off a long run. Then they pull him. Like, I mean, I don't know, man. I understand you want to get all your guys out there, whatever. But, I mean, it's a little annoying. Like, Breece Hall probably should get more touches, but no Braylon Allen this week. But your thoughts on that whole deal? Isaiah Davis do anything for you?
Yeah, Breece is – I mean, he's probably one of the players that's gained the most fantasy value like this week. No Braylon Allen is huge. It's not just like the early down stuff. They were trying to, you know, shoehorn Allen in there in the red zone.
Yeah.
Obviously, that didn't go so well. And Isaiah Davis and Breece Allen are very like for like talents. They both kind of win in the same areas. Davis plays on passing down. So, yeah, I mean, Breece, he's certainly like arrow pointed up on Breece. I'm with you guys on Fields. Like, obviously, the whole thing with him is just his rushing. We saw it last week. He made an unbelievable play that maybe only like 2 other quarterbacks can, you know, make in this league, and that's Lamar and Fields. Maybe Josh Allen makes that huge run. But I think some of this is just really bad coaching. I mean, they had so many like operational errors with false starts.
Crazy.
Like it's not all on Fields. Like that game was just, I think that was a lot more to do with coaching than Fields. Like Fields had a touchdown wiped to Garrett Wilson. They should have had 2. The first one, Wilson was in bounds. It looked like a clean catch. They just didn't call it that way. Yeah. Fields was terrible in that first half, but then like Brett was saying, the accuracy kind of came back in the second half. He's such an up and down player. But this is like the matchup though. I mean, Cowboys are obviously just getting smoked.
Yeah,
you know
that's true.
You know what should happen with Breece Hall? The Arizona Cardinals should trade for him.
Yeah.
He'd be a great fit.
Yeah.
He'd be a great fit.
I mean, did you just notice that, Brett? Like, it's like, you know, you can't play yo-yo with Breece Hall after one carry. Like, I don't know.
They can't do it now.
I'm talking about, you know what? Maybe they had their scripted plays, but just as a look, it's just like you're not winning, you're not kicking ass, and maybe part of it is you're not leaning on your bell cow, who by the way looks freaking good. One more, Brett, is Mason Taylor the new number 2 receiver for the Jets?
Always has been. Just had a sprained ankle to slowly delay it, right? But
Right.
yeah, he's a beast, man. I love Mason Taylor. He was so close to scoring a touchdown last week too.
I
We joked about the anytime TD prop for him, but
I had it as my Monday night special. I had him and Evan Ingram scoring, and in my defense, they had freaking like 14 targets between them, but no.
Taylor got tackled at the 1 yard line on one of them. So
yeah. No, that was a good call. The only reason I said anything about it was because he was hurt and he only had like 4 catches for like 20 yards. But yeah, Denver at Philadelphia, a lot going on here. Brett, it's like a broken record with this Eagles offense. I don't know if you have any insight. They don't want to open it up. I guess they did try to get AJ the ball last week a little bit, but this week it's Surtain. Anything stand out to you? I'm looking at maybe Devontae Smith. I mean, Barkley, they can't run the ball. Barkley's going to catch another 4 or 5 balls. I'll tell you that.
They're going to have to run the ball because you don't want to you want to be in predictable passing situations with Denver. I'm telling you that right now. Nick Bonito is phenomenal. Obviously, Patrick Surtain's phenomenal. The whole secondary is good. So, they're going to have to run the ball. Denver, I know the numbers are favorable to them right now as a run defense. I do think you can still get them. They don't have the dogs up front to stop the run against really good teams. I think this is a game where Philly's going to have to come out, commit to running the football with Saquon, and then that will open up the pass game. Hopefully, it should be a Smitty game though. I love AJ Brown. He's a dog, but they're not throwing to him when he's covered by bad people. They're definitely not throwing to him when he's covered by Patrick Surtain.
Yeah. And then Goddard, Graham, like, what do you do with Goddard?
Yeah, that's what I was saying last week. He's like the one guy I didn't know what to do with, and he ended up having their best game. He's involved in the red zone. They had that really nice design play with him. He
getting those freaking tosses, shovel pass. Yeah,
they
get that word out.
Yeah, the Broncos have been okay against tight ends this year. They gave up 4 for 79 to Tyler Warren. Rondé Gatson had a decent game against him in his first one out there. So, I mean, it's not a perfect matchup, but like Brett was saying, I mean, they don't throw to AJ Brown enough, and the ball does have to go somewhere when they drop back. So I'm going to be back in on Goddard. With this Broncos side, we loved Bo Nix as a bounce back candidate last week. That one obviously hit pretty hard. Bengals are terrible, but Eagles have not gotten like the sack production. They're still getting a decent pressure rate, but this secondary is just so nasty. Barely giving up anything in the passing game. So I'm down on Nix this week. Eagles have been great against the pass this season, giving up like bottom 10 passing efficiency in all metrics. So Nix scares me a little bit. I think this is a kind of a grinded out slugfest type game.
Then you're gonna have Quinyon Mitchell likely on Sutton.
Yep.
And Sutton, the reigning freaking defensive player of the week, even though I lost the Ibuka prop because of Mitchell, that pisses me off. But fluky shit happens. RJ Harvey, Brett, a blowout. Bengals are terrible, but they weren't a wretched run defense. I thought RJ Harvey showed plenty of juice. Problem is, freaking J.K. Dobbins looks good. I mean, they got a nice little 1-2 punch here.
Yeah, they do. That's going to have to carry them too, because Nick's still. I know the numbers are better. He still didn't look right to me though. Harvey looks awesome, but Dobbins looks back to like J.K. Dobbins, like the one where
I know, right? This is like the rookie season J.K. Dobbins, like
he's slippery as heck, man. It's crazy how many people just bounce off of him.
Yep, no doubt. We're not delving into any of the secondary Bronco guys. That's for sure. Evan Ingram, no, not this week. With
any interest in Franklin for you guys or no?
Probably not.
No, he at least has like the full-time role, but
the role looks nice. It is. That's another thing. Eagles are so good against screens because Cooper DeJean is such a physical player.
Exactly.
The safeties come down to hit. Makuba's awesome.
Everywhere.
And that's the Broncos' whole pass game right now is screen, and then 9 ball to Sutton. So I don't know where they're going to find it this week.
Yeah. Any thoughts on Philly's run defense? You can run on them.
Carter and Davis are kind of letting me down a little bit this year, right? It seems like they have not been as good as advertised. Carter just doesn't seem like mentally bought into me. It's really strange. And Davis is such a Planet Theory guy. He just can't move like laterally. So if you can get a hat on him, you can move him a little bit.
I mean, you definitely don't hear Jalen Carter's name that much this year.
It's definitely not he's not playing as good as he was last year. That's for dang sure. So
yeah. Moving on to this week does kind of stink. Thank God for gambling and fake football. Tennessee at Arizona. And Graham, what say you on the backfield there? Are you an Amari DeMarcado guy or Michael Carter or neither, or where are you?
Yeah, I think it'll be Carter on early downs and DeMarcado playing in his kind of like passing down role like we saw last week. Benson got 55% of the snaps. DeMarcado got 39%. I kind of expect it to be like 60-40 or 55-45. It sucks because like I wish I knew who to play. I think like I said, I think it'll be Carter, but Titans have just been terrible on run defense with no Tavondre Sweat, giving up 4.7 yards per carry. This struck me immediately, even before we got the Benson news, is like this is going to be a Cardinals trying to hammer the rock with the run game. I still feel that way, but
so
yeah. I mean,
I've gone the opposite way, but
okay. I mean, it's just like Kyler Murray's, he's so limited, man. He really is.
Yeah.
He is, but they've leaned into the pass. They've been plus 10, plus 8.6, plus 4.3, plus 12.3 in pass rate over expectation this year. They're second in the NFL in pass rate over expectation.
Yeah. I last week it came down quite a bit, and that didn't make much sense because Seattle's pretty nasty. I think they try to run it here. I mean, you can just gash Tennessee. We saw it last week with Houston. I mean, Houston has not been a good running team all year, and they crushed them.
I think I'm going DeMarcado with the third down stuff.
He's definitely probably a little better for like PPR.
Yeah, he does have a 20 carry game in the NFL, believe it or not. In 2023, 20 carries for 78 yards, 3.9 yards a pop. It just seemed like Michael Carter. We haven't seen him in a while, but I know he's been there and he knows the offense and all that. But yeah, you're probably right about that. But it's still a tough call in terms of, the answer is Greg Dortch is going to be getting more action. And Brett, you also like Marvin Harrison in this game.
I do. Well, and Graham's probably going to disagree with me, but under the context of I think the Cardinals are just passing the ball at such a high rate right now. The Titans can't cover anyone either. And L'Jarius Sneed is not a shadow I worry about. Specifically, I liked Harrison's line, 54.5 or 52.5 on MGM. So no Connor, no Benson. To me, that like I don't know how you pivot from we're not running the ball with those guys to now we're going to run the ball without those guys. It's kind of where my logic is. So I like Marvin Harrison Jr. I know he's had the yips, but it seemed like he had that get over moment last week where maybe he's back.
Yeah, Dortch though will probably catch 7 balls. He'll have a game or two with 7 or 8 balls.
Sure,
Dortch. I mean, he can do it. But also Zay Jones is in that mix too. So maybe not with Dortch if Zay Jones is back. That was a 1-week thing with Dortch last week. But enough Dortch. Tennessee, Brett. Be honest. What would you do with Calvin Ridley? Would you cut him? Would you give up, or just if possible, stash him? I mean, is there any hope for Calvin Ridley?
I hate burying guys completely, but I mean, Cam Ward's not playing great, and Ridley looks like he's lost a little bit. So the two things combined is just leading to no production. I mean, Alec Ayumanor is outproducing him.
Yeah. You'd rather have Ayumanor?
I mean, we've got a 4-game sample that says so. Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. Sure. No, I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah.
I think Ridley's hurt too. He had a significantly lesser role last week. So.
Which is always true for him, right? Isn't he always a little banged up?
Yeah, true.
Damn, and
true.
the vibes were so good this summer. Just goes, I guess the vibe check doesn't always work.
Yeah, rookie QB, bad O line. No one
else.
That
was my thing, is I thought the line would be a little better, but they're
for sure. They got like 3 number 1 picks on there. And I thought it was a rookie, but an upgrade just the same. But it's not really showing that.
3 number 1 picks, and they paid Dan Moore a bunch of money.
Yeah.
That's not working out.
No. And coaching staff is probably going to get the axe for this, but
yeah, they will. I mean, Titans are giving up the 3rd highest pressure rate, so yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, Brett, they did show some pop in the running game with Pollard last week.
They did. I think Pollard looks good.
Well, this will be a week. I mean, we should get some volume.
Spears isn't coming back this week either, I don't think, right? That's what it sounds like.
Eligible.
He's eligible. I haven't seen any practice reports yet, though.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Callahan said yesterday they're not starting his clock. So
okay.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Well, then finally, it's Tony Pollard clock. Tampa Bay at Seattle, and Baker Mayfield is just he's out of his freaking mind right now. So this is a tougher matchup, but I'm not doubting Baker. Brett, I thought it was a sloppy game, but I was actually a little surprised at how active Chris Godwin was. Like, oh my God. In 2 weeks, Chris Godwin could be like a wide receiver, like a high-end 2, play with Baker dealing like he is.
Yeah, you're not kidding, man. He looked good too. That's the thing that was kind of crazy. Not only was he active, he actually looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a gross matchup for him. Seahawks are nasty, but no Evans, right? So it's going to be all Egbuka and Godwin.
Yeah. Graham, if Bucky's out, like how high would you be on Rashad, or are you worried about Sean Tucker?
A little worried about Tucker getting some goal line stuff, but yeah, I think Rashad will have by far a more valuable role with his passing down work. RB16, RB17 this week. I mean, he's a pretty strong RB2 play. The one thing I had is Seahawks are very good outside. They've kind of given up a little bit to slot receivers this year, giving up the 8th most yards per game.
They have, yeah.
To slot receivers.
Witherspoon missed some time, but
Witherspoon did miss some time, but he got cooked a little bit last week against Marvin Harrison. I think Godwin's a really strong, back into not full-blown circle of trust with Godwin, but we're almost there.
Give us your backfield report, because I don't have a lot of Ken Walker. I got a little Charbonnet, but I mean, it's pretty aggravating. What's the weekly check-in look like?
Yeah, Walker did out-snap Charbonnet last week, but not by much. Got 19 carries. Charbonnet got 12. Again, looked much better than Charbonnet. But this coaching staff loves playing Charbonnet in kind of the short yardage situations, especially near the goal line. It's going to be gross all year. I think both these guys are like RB2 flex plays every single week. It's unfortunate because, like you said, when one of them misses time, I mean, it's just like such a must start type situation.
Brett,
tough matchup this week too. I was going to say Tampa's playing awesome run defense.
Yep.
Really good. God, yeah. So I mean, Sam Darnold may have to sling it in this one, and that certainly bodes well, I think, for Jackson Smith and Jigba. Anybody else though? I feel like Elijah Arroyo needs to arrive.
I'm in on Kupp this week.
Really?
Yeah. After we buried him 2 weeks ago. Yeah. The role is really good. It's the thing holding him back has been just the low pass rate.
Right.
And in a game, you're not going to be able to run the football. And in a game, Tampa has been really good against outside receivers. I think, and I'm not saying JSN gets blanked or anything, but I think they do limit him a little bit. I think they're going to have to rely on Cooper Kupp a lot in this game, and this is why they're paying him. So if he can't get it going in this game, they've been soft against slot corners. Or slot wide receivers. I mean, Todd Bowles' defense is kind of changed a little bit. It's a little less man heavy, a little more fire zone. They're still blitzing at a pretty high rate, but they've been playing this off coverage at the second level. And so a lot of catch and run stuff. And you look at Cooper Kupp's route distribution, 50% of his routes are on the short part of the field. That's where Tampa Bay has given up a ton of catches, 32 catches to slot receivers in 4 games. So that's significant. So I think Kupp could have like a 7 for 70 type of line, something like that.
That'd be a big day. Let's head on over to Detroit at Cincinnati. Brett, you are Mr. Detroit. This game has got a big total, which that tells me that Goff, I think J-Mo and Laporta do it. But it also tells me that the Bengals are going to put up a fight. I could be wrong because Browning and the Bengals look terrible, but it does look like a good schematic matchup with some man coverage, maybe.
Yeah. I don't like this matchup for the Bengals at all. I don't know what Vegas is on with this line here.
Yeah.
Detroit's defense has actually played really good since the Packers.
They do have the corner injuries.
Yeah, they do. But they still have Amik Robertson. He's a very good corner. They have Rock Ya-Sin, who's a veteran, Avonte Maddox. It's not like the cupboard's bare there. So the line's loaded up on those bargain bin corners in the offseason for this event.
Or maybe Detroit blows them out by 40.
I think it's more than likely going to be one of those games. Also, Jake Browning's been horrific.
Brutal. I know.
And he was horrific in 2023 too. He had 2 games where he really lit it up.
Right.
Every other game was bad. The turnovers are a problem. The decision making is always an issue. Detroit's pass rush has come alive. I think they lead the NFL in sacks now after 0 in week 1, which is crazy.
It's got to be Laporta time then. It's got to be Laporta time.
Yeah, I think it's just play them all. I mean, Gibbs especially. I think Gibbs is coming alive. He's been kind of bottled up to start the year, and now he's starting to loosen up a little bit. They figured out, they were such an outside zone heavy team last year with him. To start the year, it wasn't really working, and they went to duo inside zone, smashing inside, and then now because of that, it's opened up the outside zone a little bit. I think last week he had 40 yards on outside zone carries, so they're starting to figure that out. And then in Cleveland's front is much better than Cincinnati's. So Cincinnati has Trey Hendrickson and then 3, just average players. So I think Detroit rolls them. I have no idea why Vegas thinks this is going to be a big, high scoring game.
One more. Do you think J-Mo is a good buy low? Because I do.
Yeah, I do. I just think some of these game scripts, they haven't needed to unleash the new J-Mo package. He was the star of training camp. I mean, everything we saw in training. I went to like 11 different practices, right? And it was all J-Mo in the slot. It was all the manufactured stuff was to J-Mo. All the short stuff was to J-Mo. You don't spend an entire summer installing all of that if you're not going to use it. And I just don't think they're not ready to play playoff football yet. So
they're not. No. And the timing seems to be off with Goff a little bit.
On the deep stuff, for sure. They threw him like 5 deep balls. He didn't catch any of them. One of them got picked. So, yeah.
Well, Graham, anything positive for the Bengals here? I mean, I got to probably take another shot with T. Higgins. Lost the prop last week because they called that 35-yarder back. Would you sell Jamar Chase? I know you're selling low, but you could be looking to sell a lot lower in a week or two.
Yeah, I'm pretty much out on the Bengals besides Chase at this point. Chase at least has gotten the volume in 5.5 games with Browning and Higgins and Chase all together. Chase has 45 targets. T has just 28. In those games, T's basically, wide receiver 4 on volume. Chase is still getting the work. So in this matchup against the Lions secondary, that's kind of struggled a little bit. I'm okay with Chase. I think this is a bounce back spot for him, but T. Higgins, just the volume has just not been there. And like Brett was saying, I mean, Browning has the second worst catchable throw rate right now at 68%. Cam Moore's at 65%. Like only Russell Wilson has basically been worse this season than these two guys. So it's scary hours, man. They just can't move the ball. And it's unfortunate. Like I will say, this is a third straight pretty difficult spot. Like Brett was saying, the Lions defensive line is kind of getting after it a little bit. Yeah. But Vikings, 2 weeks ago, then they get the Broncos, like 2 very similar defenses in terms of their pressure packages. So it's not really allowed for a lot of like continuity in football, moving the football. It's just been Zach Taylor honestly getting completely outcoached.
I mean, they have absolutely no running game, so they're one-dimensional and they can't protect. Like they're in trouble. They're in trouble, man. Big trouble. DC Commanders at the LA Chargers. Once again, I think, Brett, this could be a Ladd spot. I'm going back to Ladd one more time because Sanders still has not been that great.
Yeah, cornerback play is super volatile too. So, like, I think Sanders still's I think the tape is probably better than the production suggests, but that doesn't even matter. McConkey, this is the breakout spot. I'm calling it. Washington's been getting whooped in the slot, 86 yards a game to slot receivers, 9.6 yards per attempt to the slot is like, that's ungodly. That's almost a first down every target to the slot. So, I mean, that's crazy. I think Ladd really breaks out here. I know Herbert's favored Quentin Johnson a little bit against man this year, but I think this is the breakout spot for Ladd for sure.
Yeah, I was just looking for a prop. Nothing up yet on Ladd, but Graham, that could be an angle for a prop because Ladd's number is probably going to drop a little bit.
That was my note. This is a great buy low spot. Ladd's still running full time, 63% of his routes out of the slot. Commander's given up, I think it's fourth most yards per game to slot receivers. So, yeah, I'm with you guys on Ladd. This is a good week to buy low on him. Like, Quentin Johnson has broken out. Keenan Allen's still very good, but let's not forget like Ladd was a low end wide receiver 1, high end wide receiver 2 last year on 7 targets per game. He's currently averaging 6.5 targets per game. So the overall volume for him has not really changed. It's just Johnson's fully broken out and Keenan's, like I said, still balling.
This is the time of the year where, we all have short attention spans and we're, immediate gratification. Like 4 games, people are thinking, well, this is what it is. But when you have a case like this, you buy because your thought process was right the whole time. Things are going to even out. That's the way it happens. So I say sell Quentin Johnston and buy Ladd McConkey. Brett, maybe we should have been buying him Aaron Hampton a week or 2 ago. It looks like he's getting better and better. Makes sense. He's getting more volume. I'm not studying it like you are, but how does Aaron Hampton look to you? I think we're good for fantasy.
Yeah, I mean, when you can get him downhill, look out. The dude can rumble for sure. I still question the lateral ability a little bit, but in the right game script, it's not really going to matter. They're also, he was good on passing downs in college. It was interesting that it took a while to get him involved in that area, but he looks good there too, man, as a catch and run threat. So I don't think he's going to go route anyone up, but man, as a check down option, he's a tough tackle. So I like him. He should be pretty good this week.
And where are you with DC's defense? I feel like Lattimore's playing pretty well, though.
Yeah, Lattimore's playing good. They are blitzing at the highest rate in the league. Or is that right? No, they're not. Sorry. They're generating the most pressure off blitzes in the league right now. So their blitz package has been phenomenal. I think they're getting to the quarterback like 60% of times when they blitz. So
Justin Herbert running.
Yeah, Justin Herbert running.
He's going to be running for his life with no offensive line help right now.
Another reason
I'm out for a couple weeks. So
right. I mean, can you imagine losing Joe All and Rashawn Slater?
And Slater, yeah.
It's like, what do you got here? I got 2 of the best 7 tackles in football. No, you don't. They're gone. I mean, unbelievable. Chargers going to charge, but they're not done, right?
Slater is, yeah.
Slater is. He's been long gone.
All can be back by midseason.
Yeah. Looks like Jaden Daniels is going to return. I did not like Debo last week, and it wasn't looking good, but hey, he got it done. So Debo's been good. Graham, what's the latest on McLaurin? I haven't checked yet today.
Last week I saw a tweet that he was contemplating like maybe needing surgery. So we'll see. The Commanders have slow played this. I haven't seen anything yet today either on his practice status. So he's
Quinn said he was trending in the right direction, but that was like 2 days ago.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he didn't practice all last week and was talking about needing surgery. So that doesn't really mean a whole lot to me. Yeah. I mean, if it's no McLaurin, it'll just be all Debo and Ertz condensed again. This game definitely has a chance to be the best game of the week.
Brett, understand Daniels has missed time, obviously almost half the time, but just DC's offense, like what are they? I guess McLaurin out is a big loss because without McLaurin, also Noah Brown, I guess that's what it is. Like they just don't have enough of their pieces. So it seems like they don't really have anything.
Yeah. They need that deep element and they just don't have it right now. They shouldn't have let Diami Brown walk probably for $8 million or whatever he did. Cause he played a pretty integral role for them last year as a, wide receiver 3. So yeah, I don't really know. Kingsbury have had these stretches in Arizona where the offense would just die for a long stretch. So
fall off a cliff, Kingsbury. We might be on that cliff with slippery substance and surfaces. Anyways, Graham, the backfield, what a disaster here. I mean, I would say Ja'Cory Cross-Humana for the long term, but I mean, I don't want to invest in this backfield right now.
No, this is the same thing I've been saying all year. Is like this is just one to avoid. I think Cross-Humana looks the best. He had some nice cuts last week, but yeah, I mean Jeremy McNichols ran more routes. It's just a completely compartmentalized backfield split. And a backfield, especially with Jaden Daniels, we'll see how healthy that knee is. But over the course of the season, they use Daniels so much on design stuff, especially in the red zone. I'm pretty much out on all these guys in this backfield as well.
New England at Buffalo, very high total, Brett, and you're feeling it. I will say that Buffalo run defense is not very good, but you're into Drake May in this game at least, the rushing prop at least. Any other thought? I thought I was a week too early on Diggs. I like Diggs and going into week 3, and I was like, oh, I guess I got that wrong. But then last week he looked. That was best he's looked all year for sure.
Probably best he's looked since he left Buffalo, to be honest with you. I like all the rushing props for New England in this game. Bills' run defense has been bad, and they've been bad against quarterbacks too, containing them. They're giving up 50 rush yards a game to quarterbacks right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so May's prop is like, what, 20 yards or something?
25, I think.
25,
24, maybe.
So I like
Milano and Oliver. I think they might be back.
Oh, okay. That definitely changes things a little bit. Oliver obviously can get after it as a pass rusher, but yeah, I mean, I don't really have much other than that. The Bills on the pass game side is so hard to figure out. So
I give up on Dalton Kincaid. I liked him. I played the prop. He made one play for the score, and I lost the prop by 3 yards. Graham, I said to trade him because I don't know. I mean, he's had 4 solid games in a row. Like, trade him, right?
At this point, there's like no one we can trust with the Bills receivers. It's a week-to-week thing. I think Shakir is like maybe the only small consistent part, but that's not saying much. No. I was pretty much out on Diggs, to be honest, to start the season, and he took over Demario Douglas's role last week. Douglas is basically just their full-time slot receiver. They moved Diggs in the slot way more last week, and that worked big time. Led them in first read targets, so he's definitely turning up a little bit. But same thing with the Patriots. Like, this could be, a Hunter Henry game for sure. Bills have not been as good against tight ends as they were in the past. We'll see, again, if they get Milano back, that does change some things. But yeah, this game, and I think Commanders Chargers are like the 2 best games for fantasy this week.
That Hunter Henry thing, I wrote it up myself, and I'm like, I'm stacking up all these positives. There's like 4 different positives. I'm like, I'm still not playing it. and for 3.5 quarters, he didn't do crap. And then he had that fluky play and he hit the prop. I'm like,
he almost had 2 touchdowns though. He got stopped at like a half inch.
I know. Yeah. I just feel like you can't really trust anyone there.
I'm with you. It's the same. It's very similar to the Bills. Very similar. Yeah. This will be a great test for this Bills run game. James Cook is like top 3 running back right now in my mind, just based on talent. And the Patriots have been awesome against the run.
Yeah, that's a good point. Brett, back to May real quick. Like, is he playing well? It seems like he's holding down the fort, all that, but I don't know if we could say, oh, he's playing really well. It seems like he's made 3 or 4 plays every week, and that's kind of it. But what do you say?
That's almost a perfect summary. He's definitely taken a step forward with the playmaking ability. I thought he was objectively bad last year as a rookie. There wasn't much for me to take away. This year, though, there's a lot of good things that are happening. There's just still some bad. It's really about him being more consistent, sustaining drives, getting, third down conversions. It's just accuracy on third downs got to improve. Decision-making on third downs got to improve. But really, I mean, I said it on your show earlier, he does have this playmaker gene where it's like when he decides he just wants to go get it, he can.
Right.
So we just need to see that more because like last week he had 3 runs for 11 yards. It's just like, why? Game script, they were blowing the team out. Maybe he didn't feel like he needed to press. This week, playing from behind, he'll probably need to press a little bit more. So I think we'll learn a lot about Drake May in this game for sure.
I like the fact that he's got like multiple older brothers who are great athletes, and all they did was break his balls growing up. Like, the kid can handle a lot. You know what I mean? I think that's part of it because, I don't know if you remember that video where they were breaking his chops. Reading off something, they called him a bitch or something like that. The brothers, Drake May's brothers. Hysterical. I thought that was hysterical. All right, moving on. I mean, we don't have any. Are we done trying to handicap Keon Coleman and Josh Palmer?
I can't do it.
I say yes.
Especially after last week. I mean, it was such a good matchup for Coleman, and he didn't do anything really besides the first 2 drives.
One more, though, Brett. Talk about Travion Henderson. Are you seeing, any positive signs of running the rock?
I mean, when you watch him, he definitely the discrepancy between him and Stevenson is large. There's so much burst and pop.
What about the vision?
Yeah, vision's always been a little suspect.
Right.
He plays really fast, so I think it hurts his vision a little bit, but I don't know. He's the most talented offensive player they have. They got to find ways to get him on the field more is kind of my take.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. I've been expecting it and waiting for it, but Ramondre, other than the fumbling, I mean, hate to say it, but Gibson and Ramondre look pretty good.
Yeah, they've had moments for sure. The mental lapses with Ramondre, I'm hoping at one point just keep him on the bench.
Right. Oh, for sure. I wouldn't mind, just do 50-50. 50 for Travion and 50 for the other guys. I think that would be a decent. Kansas City at Jacksonville. I think the Chiefs are back. Maybe I'm going a little overboard there, but we did hear all year, Brett, that I heard that Mahomes and Andy are sick of it and they're going to chuck it. They're going to open up things, and it seems to be happening a little bit. Thornton's been pretty good, and then now Worthy. Kelsey's not done. They can't run it, although the running game seemed to be a little bit better. I feel like that was a pretty damn good, encouraging showing, and I feel like they're back. Your thoughts?
I got to see it more than once, and I got to see it against a team that's not the Baltimore Ravens giving up. They're just getting gashed in the intermediate and deep part of the field. We already hit that earlier.
True. I'm also factoring into this that Rashee Rice is a couple of weeks away. I'm just thinking, looking ahead, like they're going to have all hands on deck. That looks pretty good.
Yeah, no, that's a good call. When Rashee comes back, that will help them more than Worthy being healthy helps them for sure. So
right, and then even Hollywood made a play, Graham. I mean, if Hollywood, Worthy, and Rice and Kels, that's pretty good.
And Thornton too.
Yeah, Thornton got his routes cut last week, but I think for this matchup specifically, like Worthy is, he's the guy in this spot. I mean, Jacksonville has been pretty decent getting pass rush. Devin Lloyd's having a great year, but they've been bad against pretty much all boundary receivers, giving up the 5th most yards per game, 2nd most fantasy points per game to outside wide receivers. And I know Worthy's kind of like a scheme him up type wide receiver. He gets the deep shots, it gets the design stuff, but I mean, he's been wide receiver 9 in half PPR over his last 11 games, if you include the postseason. There's certainly Mahomes throws it so much. Like we've been saying, they've been so one-dimensional now for 2.5 years. There's certainly a world where Rashee Rice is like a low-end wide receiver 1 this season, and Worthy's like a very, very good wide receiver 2, just based on the volume. And, the fact that Kelsey is – man, it's over for Kelsey.
You think it's over, huh?
Yeah.
Even though it is over after this year probably, but Brett, the data still looks all right. So, I mean, how do you wrap your head around that? Because the win rate stuff is good. I mean, I see it, what Graham's saying, but it doesn't look brutal, yet the data looks good.
So 2 things can be true. He's still beating linebackers in the short part of the field. That doesn't provide a lot of positive EV for the offense, though. You talk about run after catch, he's dead. Intermediate route running and deep route running, he's completely dead. So is he still functional? He's evolving into more of like a Zach Ertz at this point in his career.
Yeah. By the way,
fall down guy, which is not what Kelsey has been his whole career.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is like the juice is just gone.
Right. By the way, not for nothing, but I'm going to make a bold prediction here. I think Mahomes is probably going to finish top 3 this year.
Yeah, the volume will get him there. I'm with you. I think it. There's just so few functional passing offenses right now.
Exactly.
In the NFL too. It's just like
exactly. It's
once they get Rice back, it's like the Rams, the Cowboys, the Chargers, Packers when they want to. Patriots are a little up and down. Yeah, Lions obviously. Yeah, Goff is probably the best pure pocket passer right now. But even that passing offense besides Amon-Ra for fantasy, Brett, has been like
disappointing. Yeah,
it's been. I mean, it's just that's the way they play. When they get ahead, they want to be balanced to run the ball and play ball control, and Goff's great at that. But I mean, there's just not a whole lot of like high flying passing offenses right now, and the Chiefs are going to be that. I mean, they're top 3 in pass rate again.
It's like, oh man, we got all this terrible quarterback play. What do we do? Oh, that's right. There's this guy named Mahomes who's pretty good.
Yeah.
And actually have some guys who can run a little bit.
Like I was saying last week on our show, I'm buying Rashee Rice still, and I would buy Mahomes as well. It's so hard to trade for quarterbacks in 1 quarterback league and redraft, but I would try to get some Mahomes for sure.
Brett, you like ETN in this game. You feel like the blocking scheme and the O-line and the offense is helping him. He did look shot out of a cannon on that long run. So you like him here?
Yeah, he's been great all year. He looks back. Chiefs giving up 2.58 adjusted yards before contact per carry. And I think in a game where Jacksonville isn't favored and like you said, Mahomes is playing better, they're going to want to control the clock. And I do think Liam Cohen, he's almost matchup proof with his run schemes. He can just manufacture rushing yards and rushing production. So I'm not super I don't think the Chiefs run defense is good enough to stop it. So I'm pretty bullish. I mean, is specifically the prop 62.5 seems low for ETN's role right now. So in a game they're going to have to run the ball. I think it's a really good low-hanging fruit there.
Are you seeing any progress? To me, it feels like Brian Thomas is like limping back toward, he's trending in the right direction, but it's slow going here. I mean, what are you seeing out of him last week or the week before?
Some of it's him, some of it's Lawrence. Graham, I'll ask you, since you're the Jags guy, does he seem checked out? He seems kind of like attitude-y, like kind of pissy between snap. Maybe it's because he's just bad that he's hurt. I don't know.
Right.
I'm not sure what's going on, to be honest. He looks like a totally different player. Just the explosiveness. He had the one big run after the catch, which was a nice throw from Lawrence, by the way. But yeah, I think it's a twofold thing where like Thomas has just not been playing as aggressive, just like towards the ball and on his routes, in and out of his breaks. He's not been as sharp. And then obviously he's had the drops. But then, yeah, you mix in the fact that Trevor Lawrence hasn't really taken a step forward just yet. It's like a twofold thing. I'm with Brett, by the way. I think this is a spot where the Jags need to come out and try to run it 35 times because, yeah, Chiefs, they've had a really good run defense in years past. This year, they're not giving up the explosives, but a lot of sustaining type runs. Mm-hmm. I think you come out and just try to pound ETN, get Tootin 8-9 carries as a change up, and just try to win the run game. Win this game through the run game because your defense is probably going to give up some big plays to Mahomes, I think, in this spot.
Graham, I mentioned it. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I mentioned on John's show earlier the Chiefs aren't even like trying to stop the run on early downs. They're playing a lot of too high.
So much too high, yeah.
Yeah, preventing the deep ball, and it's something that's not in the data suite that we probably should have in the data suite, but like first down runs for the Chiefs, it's like all too high, which is they don't care. It's super weird.
Wow. Yeah, 68% too high. I mean, only the Vikings are playing more too high right now. So yeah, I mean, this is just slam ETN, slam Tootin, try to run for 150 yards.
Yeah. Do you give any consideration to Travis Hunter, Graham, because they have been weak out of the slot?
They did bench Hunter after he gave up a third down conversion last week. His route share did come back up, but I mean, he's still a part-time player, John. He's at 66%. Yeah. So until he or if he gets to a full-time status, I think you're going to have to just keep benching him. And it sucks because, I mean, they need him on both sides, to be honest with you. He made a great running catch last week, made a great running catch the week before. This offense, especially with BTJ struggles, like they need some level of explosiveness, but yeah, they've kind of been stuck in between two plans, it feels like, with Hunter.
Graham, I gotta give Liam Cohen credit for the Anthony Campanelli hire.
Oh my God! Yeah,
he found, and that guy's gonna be a head coach, by the way. So sorry ahead of time. He's gonna not be there for a long time. That dude freaking schemed it up, man. Holy crap!
Yeah, just a massive upgrade over last year. I mean, like night and day. And like I was saying, Devin Lloyd's like back to Devin Lloyd. He looks awesome,
dude. Defensive player of the year play through 4 weeks so far for sure.
Yeah.
Wow. Brenton Strange. There it is.
No one remembers his name, John.
No one remembers his name, but he is Brenton Strange. I don't even know what to say. I mean, it's just like thrown to a couch.
He's in PPR. Yeah, PPR or in tight end premium. He's been awesome. Like, keep riding it.
Let's wrap it up because we're done. There's no other hidden Monday night second game like last week. So that's a wrap-a-roni. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you continue to be all about our podcast and our live streams and all the good stuff over at the website. For Graham Barfield, I'm John Hansen and Brent Whitefield. This has been the Week 5 edition of Matchup Points at fantasypoints.com. Good luck this week, and we'll catch you next week.